Hello everyone and welcome to this week's special edition of Tune In Thursday, because this Sunday is Mother's Day. There are many origins of Mother's Day that we can trace back to the Romans and the Greeks, but the one that is important to me and I want to share with you today dates back to the 18th and 19th centuries, when children had to go away and work to support their families. So you would go and work as a servant in the house of someone who was really rich, or you would work in the fields. And normally these places would be quite a distance away, so you couldn't come home at the end of the day. You couldn't even come home at the weekends. So it became a tradition that for all the children that were working in the fields or working in the big houses, that on the fourth Sunday of Lent every year, they would be able to come back to their mothering church, and that's the church that was beside where they were born. And because they were allowed to go back to their church, it meant that they were closer to home and they could also visit their mothers on that day. And that's why Mother's Day is celebrated on a different day every year, because it ties in with Lent and Easter. Over the years, the whole notion of Mother's Day has developed, just as families have grown and developed, and we now have lots of different types of families. So we might have families where mum is on her own, we might have families where there's two mums, we might have family where actually dad is doing the job of mum, maybe gran or stepmum is involved. So the idea of mum has grown as society has changed. Have a think about who you would want to be celebrating or saying thank you to this Sunday on Mother's Day. It might be your mum, it might be your gran, it could be an auntie, but make sure that you do say thank you. And a thank you doesn't need to be about commercial gifts, okay? It can be quite simply a thank you, making a cup of tea, not arguing with your brother or sister, letting your mum watch that special film on television. There's lots of different things you can do that your mum will really appreciate. I have received some photographs and special messages for some of our mums. Madison says, "My mum is the best because she helps us, and when we are sad, she always cheers us up. We are so happy to have a mum like her." And Amy says, "My mum is the best person I will ever meet in the world. Go, mum."
Mother's Day, happy Mother's
Claudia
Day.
has a very special
Here's a
message here
gift I'll
for
give
her
to
mum.
you on this Mother's Day. I'll clean my room, I'll make my bed, I'll put my toys away. I'll be good just for you on this Mother's Day.
Domas, I hope you had a really nice birthday yesterday, and Kyle Kennedy, happy birthday for today. I hope you are having an extra special day, and I hope, Madison, that you have a lovely day on Sunday when you celebrate your birthday. And then into next week, Cody Patterson, you are celebrating your birthday on Wednesday. So for all of you special birthday children, this song is just for you. So for the boys and girls in primary 4 to primary 7, tomorrow is your last day of being at home and learning. I hope you're all getting prepared, getting everything organised for coming back to school on Monday. Now, because tomorrow is our last Friday, Mrs. Wilson is going to be live on Teams at 2 o'clock tomorrow, and we can have a question and answer session, we can play some games, but please come along and celebrate our final fun Friday from lockdown before you all return to school next week. Lots of fantastic shout outs again this week. I'm going to start with primary 7-6, and Mrs. Jones has said there are far too many people to be naming individually, but a massive thank you to everyone for the commitment you have shown to learning from home over the past 10 weeks. Mrs. O'Neill has asked for shout outs in primary 6-5 for Noor, for Jodie and for Riley, for consistent participation on Teams meetings every day while we've been learning from home. And Miss Stewart and Mrs. Hunter are in agreement that in primary 4, Freya, Erin and Manar have been really impressive with their positive attitude and their dedication to their learning. Well done to you. And in primary 1, our little storytellers, Lacey, Natalie, Maya and Isla, you have been given a mention for your fantastic storytelling, and I think it might have been for going on a bear hunt, because I definitely watched you doing that and it was fab. In primary 3, our Orange Read Write Ink group, Lacey, James, Keris, Casey Lee and Domas, you have been given amazing effort every day in your activities and you keep challenging yourselves. So that is fantastic. Well done. You are certainly successful learners.